Hello everyone, dear authors and invited guests. Welcome to Clinical Session 7B. Myself, Ayush Garg, and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 7th World Conference on Smart Prints in System Security and Sustainability, London, UK. The 7th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held in London, UK on 21st August 2023, and the virtual event was held through Zoom on 23rd and 24th August 2023. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session through the. In this session, we have six presentations. Each presenter will be given 12 minutes for presentation and 3 minutes for the question and answer session. On 10th minute, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us for closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in chat box. Just before we start the session, I would like to introduce you all to the chair of this session. Dr. Neha Tiwari is working as an associate professor and additional head in the Department of Computer Science and IT at IIS, deemed to be University Jaipur. He holds a doctorate in computer science along with BSc, PGDCA, MSc, MCA, MPhil degrees. He is research supervisor with an experience of more than 16 years and has also supervised the student in a variety of projects. Her research domain includes networking, machine learning, blockchain, database, software engineering, and cloud computing. I welcome you, ma'am. Moving forward, Dr. Sayan is currently working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Techno International, New Town, Kolkata, West Bengal, India. He has completed his PhD in the image registration domain from Sikkim Manipal University, Sikkim, India, in the year 2023. His research area includes medical image processing, nature-inspired algorithm, and machine learning-based application. He has about 65 research papers published in international journals, book chapters, conferences on various topics such as optimization, artificial intelligence, pattern recognition, and digital image processing. I welcome you, sir. Sir, ma'am, I request you if you want to introduce yourself for 1 minute, you are open to do so.
No, Ayush, thank you so much for the introduction. I think it was more than appropriate, I would say. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. So, you want to introduce yourself?
No, thank you, Ayush. I hope I'm perfectly audible to the audience.
Yes, sir.
So let's carry on the session and let's move forward.
Okay, sir. Now, I would like to start with the papers. Firstly, I would like to call Hemant Patel to present his paper on a systematic review of ICT-enabled technologies on Indian banking system. You may please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It is full screen.
No, it's on normal mode.
Right now, full screen.
Yes, now it's on full screen.
Okay. Good afternoon, respected judges and participants. Thank you for joining me today. I am Dr. Hemant Patel, an associate professor and head of the department in CSCIT at Dr. Subhash University. It's my privilege to present my paper titled A Systematic Review of ICT-enabled technologies on the Indian banking system. This research deals into involved relationship between technology and Indian banking sectors, and I am excited to share the key findings with you. So start with the abstract. In the competitive banking industry, success relies on understanding how online services, quality, and trust impact client satisfactions. This review aims to provide an overview of internet banking, covering its benefits, challenge, risk, and payments method evolution. Both financial and non-financial companies are entering the market to enhance service efficiently. Now, I share the introduction of my paper. In a world driven by rapid technology, advanced and aggressive competition in the banking industry, understanding the impact of online services, quality, and trust on the customer satisfaction is paramount. This research seeks to expose the complex interplay of these factors and their pivot role in the determining the success of banks in the modern landscape. This research provides a comprehensive understandings about internet banking, its benefits, challenge, risk, and the evolution of payment methods. Think of it in a realm where a traditional financial institution and new players are striving to offer a imposed efficient service through the digital channels. We know the rise of digitization in Indian banking. Digital technologies have left and rockless marks on the various industries, and banking is no exception. The digitization was a streamlined process and led to cost saving. While challenge exists such as financial losses, there's a strong correlation between information technologies and profitability. To examine deeper, our research has explored the factors influencing customer acceptance, the seeming manageability, usefulness, subjective norms, trustworthiness, and attitudinal intent all play a vital role in shaping how customer responds to IT-enabled banking services. Internet. Now I explain the interpreting the internet banking. It involves providing financial products and service through digitals, telephone interaction to machine payments, and more recently, transformed by the online platforms. It offers a streamlined way for customers and institutes to manage their financial affairs. Now I explain the different types of internet bankings. Let's categorize internet banking into various types. First, there's the home banking, which empowers the customers to conduct a transaction and access account related information via the telephones. Then the next is PC banking, allowing clients to use a specialized software on their customers. Now, e-banking powers online channels for account management and transactions. Lastly, we have mobile banking, enabling operation through mobile devices. Now I explain the benefits of internet banking. For customers, digitization simplifies banking procedures and provides user-friendly methods to manage finances. For banks, it opens avenue to enhance sales performance while reducing operational cost tied to physical branches. Uh, Now I explain challenges and risk. First challenge is adopting global technology. Means developing nations need to invest in adopting international technology to their specific needs, which require a significant resource and expertise. Next one is limited resource. Means poor nation often lacks the necessary technology, knowledge, funds, and infrastructure to fully adopt internet banking system. Then the risk management guidelines. The Basel Committee on the Banking Supervision provides a guidelines to help banks manage risk associated with the electronic banking. Now, risk related to the internet banking. In that, first one is the customer benefits and risk. While internet banking offers convenient customers must be aware of associated risk that could compromise their accounts. Next one is traditional and security risk. Conventional banking risk like market and credit risk apply along with the security risk that demand strong access controls and authentications measures. Next one is legal and ethical concerns. Establishing bank accounts involves legal agreements, and creating links to their websites can introduce ethical and legal challenges. Next one is reputational risk. Means a failure to meet a customer expectation and responsibilities can harm a bank's reputation in the industries. Now, next one is the cross-border challenges. Means operating across different countries with varying laws, rules, and requirements can lead to the legal, operational, and security issues. Now, I explain the internet banking attacks. In the digital landscapes, the attraction of online banking services has drawn the attentions of cybercrimes, resulting in the various types of attacks that targets both customers and banks. First one attack is the malware. Malware means a fusion of malicious and software poses a significant threats. It encompasses a various forms of software designs to infiltrate a harm computer system. Phishing is another prevalent attacks involves fake attempts to obtain sensitive information by hiding as a trustworthy entities. In more advanced forms like farming attacks, manipulates domain name systems, record to direct user to fake websites. Now I explain the security model. Given the risk associated with the internet banking, robust security measures are of the paramount importance. One of these is the implementation of one-time password, dynamic password generated for the single-use transactions, enhancing security by preventing credential thefts. Next one is browser protections. Is another facts safeguarding internet browsers against known malware by monitoring allocated RAM. Next one is device registry and security. Mechanism ensure that a banking service can only be accessed through the prior knowledge and registered devices such as the tablets, PC, and smartphones. Next one is the CAPTCHA, means a challenge response test. Distinguish between human user and automated bots. Additionally, the adoption of biometrics like fingerprints and facial recognition adds an extra layer of security. These measures collectively aim to ensure secure data and transaction safeguard both customers and bankies. Now, I explain the evolution payments methods. The Reserve Bank of India plays a pivotal role in fostering the evolution of payments methods, aligned with the vision of a less case society. The RBS commitment to promoting electronic payments is evident through creativity like the Aadhaar payment bridge system. This system facilitates large-scale subsidy payment directly to the recipient's Aadhaar-linked bank accounts, reducing the dependency on the physical case transactions. Furthermore, the RBI's emphasis on the electronic payments align with the global trends towards digital transaction, enhancing the efficiency, accessibility, and the security of financial services. In conclusion, my paper investing into the involved interplay between the technologies and the Indian banking sectors, challenges, risk, and the involving landscape of internet banking attacks underscores the needs of robust security model, the evolution of payments methods guided by the initiatives such as the Aadhaar payment bridge system, pushes the India toward a digital, efficient, and secure banking ecosystems. Thank you.
Hemant,
Yes.
firstly, I would like to point out a few things in your presentation,
Yes, ma'am.
which are regarding the formatting part and referencing part. So these things are to be taken care of in your presentation very
Okay,
well.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, can you please move to the first slide of your presentation?
Yeah.
The next one. Yes. So I think in the very first pointer, you're talking about quality and trust on clients' satisfaction,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yeah.
So do you think you anywhere covered the point in your presentation related with that?
Yes, in the last points, I explained the Aadhaar link banking system. In that, if the bankers can directly payments in the subsidy payment in the person's account, so directly customers can satisfy because he or she cannot need to go to the banks or etc, or customer can satisfy with OTPs or that. The customer cannot go for the physical verification. All the verification are the based on the mobile banking.
Are there any parameters to measure the quality and trust of client satisfaction?
Yes, the quality ensure a positive user experience and the trust build a strong customer relationship, ma'am. Based on the banking side.
Okay, thank you. No more questions.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Dr. Hemant Patel, it was a nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I have few questions for you. Firstly, can you summarize what are the current challenges or issues that is there in the ICT-enabled technologies on Indian banking systems? Because I think I missed that point. I might have missed that, or you might not have mentioned. Can you please
Okay,
summarize that?
like the bank can mitigate a security risk, might implementing a robust authentication method using encryption for data protection and conducting regular security audits. So,
And what about the opportunities or future research directions for the people working on this domain
uh,
regarding Indian banking system or the existing methodologies that are currently present in the
yeah,
industry?
yes, definitely, sir. To enhance the client education, banks can offer online resources, workshops, and guides explaining the benefits of the online banking while also educating clients about the potential uh, risk and maintaining a positive reputation involves delivering consistent and reliable services.
No, I was asking about the future research direction. What you are talking about is the sort of going away from whatever I was asking. So can you highlight that what will be the future research direction for the people working on similar domains like so whatever the methodologies you have mentioned throughout the slides?
Challenges is adopting technologies to local needs, including investigation in infrastructure and expertise. Sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It was a nice presentation. Thank you. I
Okay.
don't have any
Okay.
questions.
Thank you, sir.
Moving forward, now I would like to call Sebastian to present his paper on machine learning for increased profit in the cryptocurrency market through pattern recognition and artificial neural networks. You may please start your presentation.
Yes. Wait a minute. Hello, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes, wait a minute, please. Um, where's- all right. Well, good evening and greetings to all attendants and organizers. Today we're going to present, together with the Professor Juan Lazo Lazo, Diego Ruiz Cárdenas, and me, Sebastián Esquives, our article entitled Machine Learning for Increased Profits in Cryptocurrency Pattern Market through Pattern Recognition with Artificial Neural Networks. We want to begin this presentation saying some particularities of the cryptocurrency market and their difference between the traditional financial assets To say some of them, the cryptocurrency market is global, continuous, and doesn't have trading open or close hours. But the most important point with the cryptocurrency generally is that it's characterized by its uncertainty and large oscillations. So, in one hand, this becomes very attractive to different kinds of investors or investment funds, but in the other hand, it presents itself as a risky market. That's why, through artificial intelligence, we want to propose better strategies for this kind of investments. So we use artificial neural networks because these allow us to obtain generalized models through its system of layers and neurons, recognizing patterns in the data, which exploit the available information to learn and generate predictions. So with that information, we defined investor profile, specifically a conservative investor profile, which can carry out cryptocurrency purchase operations daily and wishes to obtain significant profits in the entire investment period, but doesn't want to be exposed to sudden price drops. That's why this kind of investor only wants to make a purchase if the return is greater than 2% in that moment. So this presentation is divided in five parts that four are the methodology. The first part is the data recollection. For this experiment, we used the Bitcoin was the cryptocurrency of choice, and we look at the historic daily price in dollars. We obtained this information from the Yahoo website, Yahoo Finance website specifically, and was information from 7 years, from 8th of March of 2015 to 8th of March of 2022. The next part of the methodology was the additional variables estimation using the already existing ones. And these new variables point out the price trend, price variability, the speed in which this price change its direction, and the strength of, say, direction and volatility. These are the variables we add. The first one was the moving average convergent divergence, the MACD. Is an indicator used in technical analysis that allow us to identify changes in the price of certain assets. The next one was the EMA of night periods, which is a type of moving average that places more weights in recent prices. So it's commonly used for short-term trend following indicators. The next one is the EMA of 10 periods with the EMA of 10 periods display. This used to identify potential long-term trends and potential entrance or exit point for a position. The next one for a price variability, we add a Bollinger Bands and relative strength index. This kind of investor that is a conservative one have a period of 3 days to do the all investment period and purchase and sell. So the profitable for the third next day was calculated from historical prices, which was used for the outcome of the neural net. It was a Boolean variable where mean means a profit over 2%, in other words, means to buy that operation, and zero means a signal to not to buy. It's less than 2%. So since the cryptocurrency market is active every hour of the day, the strategy was executed every day at 11:24 o'clock, with what considered the closing hour of the day. And when a model indicates a buy, Bitcoin is bought and held for 3 days. When it's sold again automatically, and if another buying signal appears in any of the following 3 days, the cryptocurrency is held and sold 3 days after the last call. Next one, we have the data pre-processing. The data set was divided in 3 parts. 65% for the training, 15% for the early validation, and 20% for the testing. This gives us 1,641 data points for training, and these days specifically, 378 for 78 for validation with this referring these dates, and 500 for testing. This is the dataset sample and the values that give us. Then we use a neural net training. We train our model. The result model was structured by a neural network with 17 inputs, 15 neurons in the only higher layer, and one output neuron. The learning algorithm we chose was the quasi-Newton BFGS, and the most important part are the results of our strategy we proposed. First of all, the strategy was compared with a buy and hold invest strategy. This because this is the benchmark in this kind of operation and it's very commonly used. So this time frame that spans for all that total days was 503 days, specifically are here. And in this period, the buy and hold strategy gave us a return of 235%. Where's my, yes, isn't that? I can look yeah, it's here. The buy and hold strategy gives us a return of 2,035.55%, but our model strategy gives us a total of 392.93%. That means is 1.668 better than the buy and hold strategy. The average return per trade of our model was 1.72%. Our highest win is 23.14%, and our higher loss was minus 20.35%. It's important to look this data because both in percents and in numbers, the results were always negative and in more cases. And if we want to look better this, we can look the histogram that was obtained from the data. Generally, our data was higher positive returns, and this happens with a higher frequency than negative ones. And the histogram showcases that regularly our concentration of result was in positive was between 0 to 12% of return. And if we look the tails of the histogram, like as we have here, when we look the distribution of the tails, this histogram showcases that the negative returns, that mean losses, that is the one who is in the left, have a lower frequency, and thus there are between very few, minus 20% and minus 10%, with a probability of landing in an interval of 4.8%. While there are many more positive returns that land between 10% and 23.14%, with a chance of landing in this region with 15.8%, which means is 3.29 times higher than the chance of getting losses in these cases. So with all that, this work seeks to support the management of investments in cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, through artificial neural network model that learns through pattern recognition, an investment strategy that fits depending on the kind of investor. It, in this case, was a conservative one, but it's going to depend on what kind of person wants to, it's a selection of the one, and protects itself from the volatility. So the proposed model on a neural network for a Bitcoin, in this case, suggests a very efficiently correct purchase operation obtaining a return of 392% better than the buy and hold strategy. And as I said, it was 1.68 better than this operation. And this model achieved a greater number of positive returns. Moreover, if we look the tails, that means there are more, the higher returns. And that's all. That's all our presentation. Thanks for your attention. And here are our names, our emails, and that's all. Thanks for everything.
Okay, Sebastian, that was a good presentation. A few questions to you. Firstly, I missed on the size of the data set that you took. Can you please tell me about that? What was the size of it?
Can you repeat, please?
Can you
The
please
size?
tell me the size of the data set that you took?
Yes, it's between. I mean, was separated, as I said, with more than 2,000 data points, and was divided into part, as I said, 1,641 for the training, 378 for validation, and 500 for a testing one. With all that information that is between 2015 and between 2022, 7 years of that operations, we use that data sample set.
Do you think that dynamicity or maybe the implementation of your work in a real life scenario can provide you different results than what you have expected now?
Different if we use in the real scenario. I think no. I think our results were very strong in this case because we use the historic daily prices. So the model is already prepared for this kind of operations, and it's ready to use in reality with a very high good results of it. We are thinking maybe that this could be used in another type of cryptocurrency, maybe not Bitcoin, but maybe another one. And the more important thing is to look the oscillations of different kind of cryptocurrency. But it's ready for use now for a reality in the cryptocurrency market.
Can you please share something regarding your experimental setup? What exactly the platform and the technology is used behind that?
Experimental, what I heard?
Experimental setup that you used for your work. So can you just tell us something about regarding the platform and the technologies that you used to implement it?
Well, really we use the data we recollect specifically from the Yahoo Finance website, and with all that we start using then the other one, the processing with Python and R, and that was the really that I use moreover in Python, MATLAB, or either too, and that was the software we use, the program we use, and specifically then we train the nets with a quasi-Newton BFGS. That is a algorithm, gradient algorithm that tries to improve every operation. And yeah, that's all we use.
How did you decide upon the division of the data set, the percentage that you've given, 65%, 15, and so on? How this division was exactly done?
Specifically, we use well, when we was preparing the data, looking the information we have with another works that was previously used, was commonly frequently used, and when we try with it, we use like 2 or 3 parts for the training, and the next one we can use for how it's going to work specifically. Was really used in another kind of work, so we start. We was part of this movement. We use that kind of information, and when we look our situation, it was part of it. Oh yes, really for that. The other experiments use this kind of uh, percent with training, RC validation, testings, and that was the select for us in this case.
Okay, so my last question to you is, you talked about buy and hold investment strategy, and I heard you saying that it was convenient to use. Do you think that was the only reason of selecting this?
No, definitely not. But we use buy and hold strategy because it's rarely used in this kind of operation, but have a problem. And because
So, can you name a few more apart from this, which could have been used for your work?
another types of investment strategies.
Yes.
I don't know the names right now. I was looking for different kind of operations with
Yeah, but
this.
then we need to have some strong base behind selecting something which you will compare your work with. So that is really important, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, why really we choose buy and hold strategy because this when you buy some Bitcoin really or the cryptocurrency market did use this kind of operation is like really frequent use of strategy, and we look that we have a problem regularly that was buy and then in all operation hold the Bitcoin in this case, but they have a sudden price drop regularly. Yes, it have nice results, but it's exposed to price sudden price drops. So this frequency of this kind of use buy and hold model, and when we look these sudden price drops that it's exposed the buy and hold model strategy was the first one we was to compare with it.
Yeah, because I think just increasing the profit making part was not there on your mind when you had started with the work, right?
Can you repeat the profit?
No,
No,
I'm
yes,
saying that that was not the only point in your mind that I would select some strategy which would, give me better profits. So that I'm sure was not there on your mind while you had started the work. So there should be some strong base behind selecting a strategy, and you must incorporate the content somewhere in a presentation that itself says that why I selected or chose this particular strategy as compared to these. So somewhere I feel that that I would say explanation was missing. Otherwise, the presentation was very good. Thank you so much.
thanks for your attention, and I'm going to stop my sharing.
Yeah, Sebastian, I have just a couple of questions for you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I
Yeah.
stopped my presentation.
Was there uh, was there any particular reason that BFGS was used in your work?
I can hear you well. Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, I'm asking that was there any particular reason that you have used BFGS in your work? Why not other algorithms?
BFGS,
Yeah.
this one? Okay. Well, when we was looking for a specific optimization algorithm. So we looked at the Newton Brodmann-Fleger-Goldbach channel (BFGS). It's a gradient algorithm that gives us at each interaction it computes the gradient of the objective function. So it improve in each operation in each interaction. So it was very useful in this kind of a model because we want to, I mean, all the Bitcoins all the day, so we want to improve in each operation. So this algorithm chosen was a very good for it. So yeah, was a better either too. So yeah, for that, this helps us a lot in each interaction of it.
Okay, okay. Last question. I hope you have done a literature study of similar works, right? In your paper, right? So, how would you say that your current work is performing better than the existing similar techniques or existing similar methodologies.
I don't understand the
Did you
question.
get my
Was
question?
around other kind of works same
Yeah, I am
as this?
asking that there are similar or other works that has focused on improving the cryptocurrency or the better investment strategy in cryptocurrency market using machine learning, right? There are other methods or other strategies are there. So
If there are another strategy
how?
for this kind of operation in Bitcoin,
Yeah, but
so
how your work has improved it? What is your take on it?
how our work improves that kind of operation? Well, it first we are part of that a group of work that try to use machine learning in these cases to improve this daily operation. And in these cases, yeah, we use specifically artificial neural networks. We use specific times, regardless the problem that has the cryptocurrency market that doesn't have a daily or close hour, open close hour. And the results specifically give us a very good point of a return that we couldn't look in different kind of papers. They were better, of course, than buy and hold strategy, but doesn't that our in our case our model have better results, specifically with 390.93%. So yeah, our results were better than this case. Maybe I don't know. Maybe no. I'm pretty sure that was because we use specific artificial neural networks that was used in this case, but not with BFGS algorithm. And so,
Okay, thank you.
I would like to call Mohammed Zinurain present his paper on malware, ransomware analysis and detection. You may please start
Yes.
your presentation.
Okay, cheers. Thank you very much. Can you please allow me to share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, this is good.
Yeah. Okay. The title for today's presentation is Malware and Some Analysis and Detection. My name is Zanuran, and presently I'm serving with a university in Pakistan as a assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Information Technology. So regarding the introduction of my today's research, there are challenges in the evolution world regarding the malware. Why is because the malware is increasing day by day, and uh, s- the basically the techniques that are coming and day by day they are different types of malware that are generating and they're coming up, and their analysis need to be done with the you can say an efficient or reliable methods. So the all the you can say the malware, the memory analysis definitely has to be the approach where you have to focus on memory, which memory basically have been like use those malware. So the objective were to analyze the data set that I have used is CIC mal MEN 2022 for the better understanding and distribution of the characteristic for the malware families. The secondary objective was to identify the features that could differentiate between the benign and malicious memory dumps, and the ultimate goal was to contribute to the development of the more effective obfuscated malware detection system that can improve the malware defense and response time in cybersecurity departments across public and private sectors. Uh, Regarding the dataset overview, uh, so we have a balanced collection of records of 58,596 where we have 29,298 benign and same as half of the malicious memory dumps. The malicious memory dump includes the samples from the various malware families within the Trojan horse, spyware, and the ransomware categories that I will be discussing the upcoming slides. Regarding the literature, there are two approaches that can be used for the analysis. The first one is the static, and the second one is the dynamic analysis. So static involves examining the malware code without executing it, while the dynamic analysis involves the monitoring its behavior during the execution. The value of the dynamic analysis in detecting the obfuscated malware is of importance. The memory forensic as a prominent approach, explaining its focus on examining the volatile memory during or after an attack. Ransom and its status as a major cyber security threat. Methods for the ransomware detections were signature-based, behavior-based, machine learning-based techniques. The advantage and disadvantage of each method focuses on their effectiveness against new and the obfuscated ransomware variants. So, obfuscation techniques and their goals is to hinder the malware analysis and detection. Standard techniques were packing, encryption, polymorphism, metamorphism, and explaining how each technique works. The need for the advanced methods like memory analysis need to be taken care of to counter that with these techniques. So these were the malware categories. There were primarily three categories in the dataset: Trojan horse, spyware, and the ransom. Each category presents the malicious software landscape and how they target the different aspect as per the user system. Okay, specific malware families. Within each category, as you can see in the Trojan, we have Zeus, Emotot, Refroso, Scar, Reconnect. In spyware, we have 180 solutions, Google Web Search, Getor, Transponder, and Taps. For the ransomware, we have Conti, Maze, Pisa, Aku, and Shades. So the composition of the data set is 58,596 records that is equally spread between benign and the malicious memory dumps. So the diverse family represents the real world threats, creating a challenging environment for testing the associated malware detection systems. So the data pre-processing stage, in this stage we remove the irrelevant or the redundant features, finding the missing data and standardizing the data formats. Factor influencing the time required for this step is the complexity, size of the data set, and IO time for reading and writing the data. Practical application for these is technique which can be applied to other cybersecurity data set to extract meaningful insights. Features extraction, the list of the features from the memory dumps in these studies were written there. And the factor influencing the time required for this step is the complexity of the extracted features and the dataset size. So the practical implication of these features can guide the development of the future malware detection algorithm, potentially enhancing the effectiveness and the speed. In the analysis, I'll show you the graphs later. So let me show you the graphs. Okay. Basically, I use Tableau for visualization of my data set. Okay. Let me increase the size as well. Okay. So basically, these are the features, extracted features. So what I did is I use Tableau to visualize each extracted feature where I was able to see a benign and malware class and you can say the intensity of the malware present in the each extracted feature. Okay, these were all the graphs. Okay, let me go back to the slides. Okay. As you can see, we need to have a deeper analysis for the data and the concentration revealing the potential discriminatory power due to the significant overlap of the benign and the malware instance within these features. Its use as a standalone tool for the differentiating between these two is a bit kind of a challenging. This feature displays a nearly equal distribution of benign and malware instances. The random scattering of the malware instance and significant overlap between these categories is a question uh, that may affect the effectiveness of the malware detection indicator. Despite showing the concentration for the benign and malware instances, the lack of the differentiation at the zero level for both the classes suggests that its ability to discern between the benign and the malware types, and it's not a robust. So given the lack of the benign data points and a limited number of the malware data points, nearly zero, the feature might have a limited utility in detecting the malware due to the poor class differentiation. So the near even distribution of the data points between the benign and malware instance, coupled with the significant overlap, suggests this feature may not be an effective indicator for the malware detection. So in the conclusion, summarizing the study, which we have explored for memory forensic-based features for detecting the above-stated malwares. Most of the features hold discriminatory power, while others have a very less effect. The potential implication of these insights for the field of memory forensic and malware detection. Need for further research to develop more robust and the reliable methods for detecting the obfuscated malware based on memory forensic. Uh, in future work, we can have like we can develop some improved versions of models like advanced machine learning techniques for the detection and mitigation of malware that can benefit for the rest of the world. These were the references, and thank you very much.
So I think we didn't see the graphs. You might have shared it, but we missed
So
the graphs.
the graphs were here. I hope you can see my screen. I said
Yeah, I can.
I said I use Tableau for visualizing the extracted features. Against each extracted feature, I use scatter and the box plots for better understanding.
But I'm not able to see them. That's the problem.
Sorry,
Where are they? I cannot see the graphs.
sir, I have shared the full screen. Let me just.
It is still showing your PPT, the same
Okay,
PPT.
just a minute, just a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Can you see now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, these are there in the paper as well that I have submitted.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so in the presentation, you have first of all, it was a nice presentation. You have covered all of the points very nicely.
Thank you
Uh,
very much, sir.
yeah. Can you go back to the slide of literature review?
Sir.
Yeah.
So I have
Can
a couple
you?
of slides. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just this one. Okay.
So
How do you explain that your current method is it better than the existing works in this present domain, or is it uh, how is it faring? I mean, your current work compared to the existing similar works.
okay, sir. Uh, Basically, what people have done is they have used different techniques of machine learning in, you can say, in detection and probably a better or deeper analysis. What I did is I just extracted the feature and I tried to visualize and analyze those, you can say, the visualization that I've got after analysis of the extracted features. that is you can say that is a kind of a novelty in my staff that is not there in most of the people. Well, because what they do is they have applied different machine learning techniques. They have a couple of different graphs, and they have you can say the tables that shows accuracy, precision, and so on, the different parameters of their accuracy and stuff.
Yeah, okay. I have one more question for you. That is,
Sure, sure.
you have mentioned that you have
Mm.
used this data set called CIC Malcolm 2022.
Yes, sir.
Can you give a little bit description about the data set? Yeah.
Sir, yeah, I've already mentioned here. It was basically a 58,596 record of collection, and it was already basically divided into an equally 29,298 records were benign, and 29,298 that was a malicious memory dumps. That was already there in the data set, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yes, thank you.
Are you a research scholar? Is it the part of your research work?
Basically, that is a part of my you can say a research group that I've been working with.
So exactly what kind of research are you people aiming at?
Basically, what we're trying to do is we are working on IoT layer 2 attacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what strategies did you use for pre-processing part?
Let me go there. Just a minute. Over here.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, what we do is we you can say that was basically a manually going through the data and seeing if there is something the irrelevant you can say entry or any redundant or you can say missing. So
So
there are
having
two
a
ways.
data set of, I'm so sorry, I'm interrupting
Yeah,
you, but
that's
having
that's
such a huge data set, and
mhm.
do you really think it was logical to do a
I agree. Yeah,
pre-processing
yeah.
manually in this regard?
Basically, if you go here, we have collected some breakdown of the data set using a couple of visualization. So we were like, I was not only the one who is working on this. We have a team of 10 to 12 people who are working with me in this. So basically, we divide the task, and there were a couple of other fellows, they were closely working on this, and they have generated, I have not shown here, they have generated heat maps using Colab, Python, and they did their task. Definitely that was not part of the research article at the moment. So yeah, I can say that was a mistake, but they have done their stuff for that.
Yeah, but keeping in mind the kind of tools available these days, I
Mhm.
really don't think there is any point of doing it manually. And
Agree, agree,
moreover,
agree.
you're working in a group, so that gives you some extra edge over somebody who's working alone on this. Even
Mhm.
then, the person would not go for the manual processing part, pre-processing part rather.
Sure,
Okay,
sure
can you
will
just
be.
explain
Sure.
me about the how the feature extraction was done? How did you select upon the characteristics, I would say, to take up in the work?
Basically, what we do is we divided the data set into two parts, benign and the memory dumps. And then what we do is we visualize those extracted features that we see. There are a lot of changes.
The
As you
question is, the question is,
Mhm.
how did you decide upon the feature extraction part? So only these features should be, taken into consideration. So I'm just pointing it out.
Maybe you can say on the basis of what we can say is the intensity of attacks on those specific, you can say the only family of attacks.
That's too broad to be taken into consideration for the work. Anyway, these are some suggestions I would say to
Yeah.
keep in mind
Sure.
while defending your work
Okay.
from next time onwards.
Yeah,
Thank you
cheers.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Doc, thanks.
Moving towards our next presentation, I would like to call Kong present her paper on research on the relationship among digital inclusive finance, household consumption expenditure, and import and export of goods, an empirical analysis based on statistics from China. You may proceed with your presentation.
Yes. May I just start now? Okay, let me start my presentation. My topic is research on the relationship among digital inclusive finance, household consumption expenditure, and import and export of goods. Our research is based on the statistics from China. And this article is made by my mentor Ren Chuanpu and me. And the presentation I will introduce from the following parts. The first part is the introduction. This part I'd like to mention the significance of the three variables. The first variable is the DIF, which is digital inclusive finance. Digital inclusive finance is an extension and expansion of inclusive finance combined with internet technology. It makes use of big data and artificial intelligence to expand service coverage, improve service quality, reduce transaction costs, and lower the threshold for accessing diversified financial service. And the second variable is import and export goods. It's a very important component of external circulation. And the third variable is imports and is household consumption expenditure. It's a very crucial index of the status of internal circulation in China. As we all know, the dual circulation is promoted by China. There is no doubt that in the new stage, the emphasis on dual circulation places even greater importance on promoting internal demand consumption and advising and the internal circulation. So this paper is to clarify the impact of digital inclusive finance on the imports and exports of goods. Also consider the intermediary role played by household consumption expenditure in it. And then we have checked many literature which are related. There are two limitations. The first is mostly they focus on the impact of digital inclusive finance on achieving common prosperity in China. And they didn't emphasize on the effects on imports and exports. And the second limitation is that the methods have not taken the endogeneity of variables into account. They usually use the logic regression model. And so this paper will fully consider the impact of variables on themselves. The data is from every province and city in China from 2011 to 2022. We will use the panel vector autoregression model to discuss the impacts of digital inclusive finance on imports and exports of goods. And the theoretical analysis and the hypothesis of our article. There are two supposition. The first is the direct impact of digital inclusive finance on IG. And the second is the indirect impact of the digital inclusive on the goods trade. We suppose that the DIF will promote IG by elevating constraints faced by SMEs and could enhance the efficiency of various stages in the process. And the indirect effect is that the digital inclusive finance could promote the IG by promoting HCE. The first step is the digital inclusive finance promotes the household consumption expenditure. Because the development of DIF could broaden the ways for households to increase their income. And there are a variety of financial products and services to make the households have the confidence and have the ability to consume. And then the household consumption expenditures development could promote the IG. And this is the path that we stressed. And the third part is the research design. The first is the model setting. This is our model. When we use the PVAR, because it could offset individual heterogeneity and gives enough consideration for individual and time influence. Because HCE and IG may be affected by the previous period, so the endogenous problems cannot be ruled out, and this model could solve this problem. This table 1 is the variable setting and the description. We use the DIF index, which is released by the Digital Finance Research Center of Peking University from 2011 to 2020 to measure the development of DIF in 31 provinces and cities of China. And the second household consumption expenditure, we collected this status from the urban rural residents in China's statistical yearbook. And the first part is the analysis based on the empirical results. I just present 4 parts which I think is important. The first is ADF test. It's very necessary to determine whether each variable constitutes a stationary sequence. So the results show as is shown by this table. All of the 3 variables is stationary sequence, and the second is the selection of hysteresis. The third part is the model stability test. Because the points are in the circle, so it could be determined that the model passes the stability test. And the most important part is the impulse response results analysis. By comparing the three picture, we could say that although the three variables could have a positive influence on themselves, but the influence will gradually become smaller. And by comparing 3A and 1C, we could say that the IG could significantly promote DIF, but DIF will inhibit the growth of total IG, which is contrary to my hypothesis. But we think that it's probably due to the limitation of the indicators of DIF. And then is our conclusion and recommendations. We have two conclusions. The first is DIF could promote IEG directly, and the second is it could promote IEG indirectly by increasing HCE. And we have given recommendations about the three variables. The first is DIF. We could build the DIF infrastructure more quickly to enhance itself. The completeness of infrastructure will improve the coverage and convenience of DIF, thereby accelerating its development, increasing the wellness of HCE, and expanding internal demand. The second suggestion is we could promote the establishment of a more comprehensive income distribution mechanism. Because the increase in HCE will lay a solid economic foundation for the development of DIF, and then providing it with broader development opportunities. And the last suggestion is to optimize the industrial structure of imports and exports, and provide differentiated and high quality products. That's all. Thank you.
Kong, I think you have asserted enough regarding the importance and correlation of finance, import and export goods, and household consumption. Only one question to you. Did you do some kind of extensive review of literature regarding these factors which ignited some kind of interest in you to take it up as your research work?
Yeah, we have done that. But I don't show it clearly in my presentation. In my article, there is parts about that.
Okay. Since I could not see much references being mentioned there, I pointed it out explicitly. Did you find some papers in which there were any other or some more factors which were taken in correlation with these three?
Yeah, they have applied the income distance. They think that the difference of income also play an important role in this process. But I think that the household consumption expenditure, it could. I just want to focus on the medical level, and and in their research they just focus on the focus on the prospects of our country, China. Yeah, I want to emphasize this on the national level.
Okay, and what was the data source? Where did you find the data for it? For every targeting every feature that you took into consideration?
Data. Yeah, I have just said it. Probably I speak too quickly. Here they are. I have collected the DIF from the Digital Finance Research Center of Peking University.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So for all three categories, the data was taken from you?
What?
For all three categories, that is finance, import, export goods, household consumption, for all these three, you took the data from here, this repository, or the university's data for that?
No, I just said
Yeah.
that DIF is from this center, and the other two variable, I collected them from the China Statistical Yearbook.
Okay, so combination of 2, 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a similar question regarding the data that you have also mentioned in your paper, but I think it was also mentioned in your literature survey. So, I mean, the literature survey in your paper and the literature survey that you have presented in your presentation are very different from each other. So, keep in mind of these things. And is there any particular data size that you have mentioned anywhere in the paper or anywhere in the presentation?
I'm sorry, I can't hear clearly.
Yeah, I'm asking, is there any particular data size? What is the amount of data that you have taken? It is a DIF, it is taken from DIF and from 2011 to 2021. But what was the sample size or what was the data size? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think that's the shortcoming of the indicator of DIF is that the lack of diversity, because there is an author who is who have done such related research on that. Yeah, and the further research we would like to set a more realistic indicator system.
Okay, okay, no more questions from my side.
Thank you.
I would like to call the next presenter. Her name is Lynn Cecil to present her paper on Research on Urban Residents' Consumption of China, the Influence of Growth of Nighttime Economics. You may please start your presentation.
Okay. I will share my research content. First of all, the title of my paper is Research on Urban Residents' Consumption of China, the Influence of Growth of Nighttime Economics. The first part is the introduction with the development of the nighttime economy, the activation of nighttime business and markets has brought back the smoke and of the city. The nighttime economies has enhanced the residents' shopping and leisure opportunities, better satisfy the people's individual, diverse and convenient consumption requirement, and contribute even more to the recovery of consumption and the unlocking of domestic demand potential. Use this paper using China's province panel data from 2010 to 2021. This paper empirically analyzes the impact of nighttime economic development on urban residents' consumption through a fixed effects model. The results show that from the perspective of China as a whole, there is a significant correlation between the development of the nighttime economy and household consumption. Different urban space affects the promotion effect of the night economy on the consumption structure of urban residents. The results of this study suggest that expanding domestic demand and giving full play to the promotions and the promote higher consumption and drive economic growth. This paper presents a theoretical and empirical study of the impact of the nighttime economy on urban residents' consumption, which not only enrich theoretical the internal cost of residents' consumption, but also has important implications for the orderly development of the nighttime economic. The second part presents the hypothesis of the impairment. First of all, the development of the nighttime economic prolongs the time of economic operations. Second, the night economy has the potential of increase household consumption through agglomeration and synergistic effects. Regional traits also have an impact on how the night economy affects household consumption. Due to the disparities in regional level of development, the interregional consumption imbalance. This is the primary cause of the overall imbalance, and the concentration impact dominates the trend in interregionals and interregional imbalance. At the same time, the imperfect infrastructure construction in less developed areas may also lead to urban real difference in the consumption effects of the nighttime economic. Therefore, this paper have two hypotheses. The hypothesis one, the development of the nighttime economic promotes the consumption upgrading of urban resistance. The next, different regions may lead to variability in the impact of night economic on household consumption. The third part presents the research and analysis. More factors will have impact on residents' consumption power, and the fixed effects model can address the and endogeneity issues brought on by missing variables, building the follow basis model. The variable explained consumption level of urban residents, the radius of totally urban residences, spending to the sum of their consumption for development and enjoyment. Consumption can be classified into three categories according to of needs.
Excuse me, ma'am. Kindly conclude your session as you have only 3 minutes left.
Survival, enjoyment, and development. The explanatory variables: air, light, internet. The table displays the various description states. The fourth part is the analysis of empirical results. This study initial performance the Haussmann test on the model's data. Period to models regards in order to appropriately choose the right regression model. The key explanation variables are this with urban restaurant consumption, which is consistent with the predicted hypothesis. This table demonstrates that overall religion light intense has a positive effects on the dependent variable of urban residents' consumption, which is established at the significance level of 5%. The fifth part is conclusion and suggestion. The nighttime economic significantly and favorable affects household consumption levels across the board in China. The finding demonstrates that the nighttime economy has a suitable consumption incentive effects, and that the degree to which the area nighttime economy has developed significantly influence how will urban inhabitants' consumption structures are optimized. Local governments must strengthen supply side structural reform and enhance the convenience, activity, and the safety of restaurants' nighttime consumption with high quality supply and good survival in order to strengthen policy guidance and support for the development of the night economy and implement pertinent supporting facilities. Thank you. That's all.
No questions from my end.
Yeah, also, I think we're kind of running out of time, so we can move on to the, I think one more presentation is left, Ayush.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we can move on to that.
Okay. Now, I would like to call the last presenter of this conference, Nurul Vada, to present her paper on software-defined exchange as solution of internet exchange point an argumentative literature review. You may please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, can you see my presentation right now?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the opportunities given to me. My name is Nurul Ahda, and I'm from Telkom University, Indonesia. And today I will be presenting you with our research on the topic software-defined exchange or SDX as solutions for Internet Exchange Point or IXP. This is our argumentative literature review. So first of all, I would like to tell you the target of our research. This one will be define the background facts of the topic. The second one will be define of our review methods. The third one will be define the SDX conceptual models. Next, we also have some arguments, the analysis of argumentative inferences and consequences based on the implication. And the last one, we offer some recommendation of the SDX for IXP. Now, what does it mean to use SDX as a solution for IXP? Here we have found some fundamental factors in our research from some sources that's related to the urgency of network technology right now. The first one, we have network technology challenges and development. The development of network technology right now is about the infrastructure and collaborating with modern technology like IoT, SDN, or AI. So from this, we also realize that IXP as our mainstay network infrastructure has a limitation, such as packet delivery using Border Gateway Protocol or BGP has the potential for data plane failure. Here, which can give more ASR weaknesses for customers such weak packet validation, packet loss, and etc. For the current problem, most of the solutions using SDN technology that are applied to IXP are called SDX, which offers some alternative solutions related to network scalability. Next, here we use an argumentative literature review to learn more about SDX technology. Is that appropriate as the solution for our IXP? We realized that to take the whole literature, we need to categorize specific aspects here. We also focus on delivering our discovery from some sources in a particular exposition. Then we keep taking a comprehensive perspective to avoid bias in this research from positive, negative, and neutral arguments about SDX as the solution to the IXP. So next, we illustrate an IXP architecture when implementing the concept of SDN using SDX approach. Here, the configuration can be made in programming form, be performed by just in the roles within the SDN label switching or MPLS and virtual private LAN service or VPLS. But this resulted in the complexity. The complexity can be overcome by implementing SDX by utilizing the flow protocol adapted the SDN architecture protocol and management overhead. Additional application can be implemented in the application such as traffic engineering for traffic management or advanced blackhauling to minimize security threats within IXP. And next, we have argumentative inferences here. We first found that SDX utilizing SDN enables flexibility and routing functionality with control packet management rules. But here we must understand that SDX has not yet fully become a solution for IXPs because of the rapid development of IXPs with various operator models, resulting in the size of the global IXP forwarding table continuing to increase, which is about the complexity. And the second one, we found that SDX utilizes specific programming method in its management, making it more dynamic. Also, SDX can bring the validation process of routing information sent to all IXP members by integrating root origin validation or ROV with the public key infrastructure or RPKI repository. The third one, we found that SDX enhances the functionality of IXP without replacing the inherent functionality of the previous IXP. And besides that, SDX can be developed to detect and prevent BGP hijacking attacks. And next, we found that SDX can develop monitoring services through network function virtualization or NFV services. And the next one, we found that the management of IXP and SDX requires a specialized team to ensure the server condition and infrastructure maintenance, and also provide guidance and technical assistance for many ISP. Here also, we knew that the conventional IXP networks could still operate well without SDX. And the last one we found was that the SDX architecture, which still follows the IXP architecture, must use a particular platform to manage the fault tolerance. Right, well, here we have some analysis of the argumentative inferences based on the implications. We categorize on the pro inferences that we have flexibility, then can be programmed, default infrastructure, about security, accuracy, and also the threat aspects. While the for cons argument, we assign the SDX or IXP teams because it requires additional cost to form a team. Then the extent of a team still cannot guarantee the optimization of IXP network management. We also assign the challenges here because SDX has a minor role in improving the functionality of IXP networks. Then for the dispute, we have monitoring because it efficiently enhances the quality of IXP network evaluation result, but still needs another extension. Then about the complexity, it is because the level of complexity depends on the scale of network being built, with more extensive networks generally being more complex than smaller ones. So from the analysis, we got that SDX can address the conventional, sorry?
Ma'am, it's a humble request from my side. Kindly conclude your session as last 2 minutes left for you.
So I can continue my presentation or?
Yes, but for 2 minutes only.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, here from the analysis, we got that SDX can address the conventional IXP we used previously for better network management. Besides that, we must ensure that we can face practical challenges later. Then we also have to pay attention that our difficulties with transforming from the conventional network to SDX depend on our network demands and condition. So based on our research here, we offer some recommendation. The first one is we have to understand the value and also the impact if we want to implement SDX to IXP. Then the second one, we must understand that SDX has some models that we can use based on our network model. The model also can be customized to our network needs. And the last one is we keep innovating in our network technology with awareness about infrastructure development and how to adapt and apply it. And so here we arrive to our conclusion. SDX is an SDN technology approach, offers specific solution for IXP network by improving quality and security without requiring changes to the existing infrastructure. While SDX is not essential for managing an IXP network, companies should review various SDX models to determine suitability based on their needs. So finally, if there are mistakes in my words, I'm so sorry. I hope you can get some insight from our research here to help you in your future needs. Thank you for your attention.
Nurul, please tell us about the test bed that you used.
Okay, so here we use the argumentative literature review. So we collect some sources from the literature, and we use the positive, negative, and neutral arguments like this you can see in my slide.
Did you use some simulator for your work?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Did you use any simulator for your work? Some kind of simulator, emulator? Did you use any of this for your work?
Actually never. So this is really new for us.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nurul, was there any limitation or challenges that you might have seen as it was little bit like a systematic review, the paper that you have presented, right?
Right.
Did you see that there are some kind of limitation in this software defined networks in case of IXP? Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
software defined exchange.
Yeah.
In IXP, what are the limitations or challenges that people who are working in this domain will face or have faced?
Oh, so you asked about the limitation of SDX, am I correct? Okay. So the limitation of SDX, for example, like in this case of from our sources, that we got for example like BGP hijacking or I'm so sorry, IXP, because of need more extension. And then we have to install others applications. It seems like what is that? Make us be complicated and also more dynamic than previously. So I think that's of the limitation of SDX. While for the IXP also does not have features like SDX. If we cannot apply the SDN or SDX previously, I think that's
Okay, thank you.
okay.
That's
Thank
a
you
nice
very much.
presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Moving towards the closing remarks, I sincerely thank our authors and for their excellent presentation contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of whole team, thank you for the support during the seventh version and all the previous six versions of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the eighth version in 2024. All the partic- all the presenter would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of WS4 2023. It would be great if Sir and Ma'am, Professor Neha Tiwari and Professor Sayan, say some remarks to enrich this session.
I think all of them did a wonderful work. There were certain suggestions which were given to them for better addition in their work for the next time, and it was indeed a good, I would say, chance to be among them and learn from them as well. A good session in all for the knowledge sharing part. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
As we come to the end of this enlightening technical session, I'm filled with sense of awe and appreciation for incredible knowledge and insights that has been shared in today's session. It has been an honor to witness the collective brilliance of our esteemed presenters and participants who have delved into the depths and into their respective fields. Uh, I would like to extend my gratitude towards the organizing and the technical committee of World Sport, especially Richa ma'am, and also to a very big gratitude and thank you to you also, Ayush, for hosting the current session. I extend my sincerest thanks to all those who have contributed to the success of this current session. Your dedication, hard work, and commitment have made this current session a resounding success. Success in your
Thank you so much, sir.
endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir and ma'am, uh, for chairing this session. Token of appreciation to be the chair on behalf of team World S4 2023 and the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partner. Thank you for your valuable time. I request everyone to kindly switch on your cameras for a quick snapshot. Thank you so much for your valuable presence.
Thank you, Ayush. Thank you, Sayan sir. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Neha.